are you, Mrinalika?
Sir, I'm good.
Good. So welcome to the mock interview.
Thank you, sir.
Belong to Jaipur.
Yes, sir.
Very good city.
Yes, sir.
Can you compare old Jaipur with the new Jaipur?
Sir, when it comes to old and new Jaipur, one of the major differences is how old Jaipur speaks about culture and heritage of Jaipur, wherein new Jaipur speaks about modernity and planning, including metro and high roads. And apart from this, sir, another thing about old Jaipur is
Is it really planned, the new Jaipur? Are you sure?
No, sir, not the old Jaipur is planned, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the problems in new Jaipur?
Sir, when I think of certain problems in New Jaipur, one of the first problem that comes to my mind is cleanliness and hygiene. Jaipur hasn't had very good ranking when it comes to recent Swachhata Sarvekshan ranking. Second, sir, traffic is increasingly becoming another problem in Jaipur. Earlier it was not so, but now it is increasingly becoming a problem. Lastly, sir, there are certain law and order issues as well, specifically crimes against women in the urban areas.
Oh, good. Don't want to join foreign service.
Sir, it might not suit what I desire. It's a preferable service otherwise, but it may not suit what I desire per se in terms of professional requirements.
Means, what are the reasons?
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe I personally am more motivated to work when I'm in my own country, and also when I'm in my country, I'll be able to balance my personal responsibilities along with my professional.
But outside India also you will be working for your country.
Yes, sir. But I may not be able to see people around that much as I would be able to see in India. So I will feel more motivated when I'm in my own country.
And less motivated or zero motivation if you are going outside.
No, sir.
But
not
suppose
at all.
government of India sends you on some
Certainly.
particular assignment, then
Certainly, sir. If my job role requires me to
but
go
then
outside,
you will not feel motivated. No?
sir, I will maybe lesser motivated during that duration.
But a
But
lesser
for sure.
motivated civil servant may not do good for the country.
Sir, I think here the answer is about relativity. Relatively, I will feel more motivated when I'm here. And I'm open. Yes, sir.
Good. You are selected for Indian Police Service.
Yes, sir.
What you will do? Tell me 3 things in Jaipur city.
Sir, if I am selected in police service,
Posted there as DCP, North.
Sir, first and foremost thing that comes to my mind is a policing which is connected to people. A model of Jan Sunwai that has recently been experimented in Jaipur. I would like to make that a permanent feature in the city so that people feel more connected.
Jan Sunwai.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
So that's first suggestion. Second suggestion, sir, I would also focus on increasing patrolling in the areas, in urban areas especially, because more and more women are facing crimes. Rajasthan in general, sir, and Jaipur also, one of the city there, is known for crimes against women. We have the highest number of rapes against women and third in terms of crimes. So I would focus on increasing patrolling in the area, sensitizing common people, as well as increasing the number of charge sheets filed as soon as possible whenever it is.
Increasing the number of charge sheets. How
Yes.
how you will ensure that?
Sir, I will ensure that the FIR is placed and I follow up I follow up with the charge sheet. Once it is.
FIR is?
So often the police officers generally I hear that FIR is not filed in the first place.
They don't register. It's the complaint.
Yes, sir, because
Yeah.
probably the victim is not belonging to that particular location.
Yeah.
So the zero FIR culture is still not very common there.
Yeah.
So I would like to make that a part of culture. And once the FIR is filed, often, sir, it takes time for the case to proceed further, investigation and other aspects. So I would like to follow up on that.
So
as
what
well.
are the laws actually which are meant to protect the woman and for their welfare?
Sir, the laws that I can think about right now are Protection of Women Against Sexual Harassment at Workplace, 2013. So then there's Domestic Violence Act. Sir, there's also IPC also protects women.
No. Act. IPC is okay. Act, special acts,
Uh,
laws.
Yes, sir. So 1, 2.
Very prevalent in Rajasthan. And law is helpless.
So Child Marriage, Prevention of Child Marriage Act.
Yes. Then dowry.
Dowry
Prohibition.
Prohibition Act. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mrinalika, I thought that when I was looking at your DAP and you had done conflict resolution and peace building in your BA from the LSR.
Yes, sir.
I thought that I would ask you questions about the foreign service, but obviously it's my loss. I can't ask you anything about the foreign service. But tell me something. Conflict resolution and peace building, are they same or they're different?
Sir, I would say conflict resolution and peace building are a little different from each other. While conflict resolution happens at the initial stage, once the peacemaking is done and the conflict is resolved from the roots, peace building concerns with building the community which is being lost
Okay.
and the society which has been lost.
Can you give me example of this? Not at the national level. I know nothing about what happens in India. International level.
Yes, sir. Sir, when I think of conflict, the current conflicts in the international arena, Israel-Hamas war is coming
But
to my
there's no
mind.
peace building there. I want to have an example where you can talk about both conflict resolution and peace building.
Sir, it has happened in the past. That is the
Yeah,
question?
obviously. Otherwise, I can't ask you.
Okay. Sir,
No.
I'm unable to think right now.
Okay.
Sir, Sudan is coming to my mind, but
Right.
there, even the Indian peacekeeping forces are also known for peace building there. So when
What
the
about
war
Iraq?
ended,
Iraq is the biggest example of the reconstruction and before that conflict resolution. But in Iraq, okay, which are the main instruments that we have available to us for conflict resolution?
sir, facilitation.
Don't give me words. Facilitation, I can also use facilitation.
Okay.
But how is it done, conflict resolution? What are the instruments which are used?
So can I think of that?
Okay.
Sir, diplomacy.
Okay.
Sir, I'm unable.
Let us leave it. Peace building. Which are the main instruments for the peace building? I'm asking questions because you have done this at your undergrad.
So building infrastructure, educational infrastructure, health infrastructure, involving community in the
Okay.
process.
Okay, all right.
Sir, truth and reconciliation forums.
Okay.
Yes.
Before I go to the next example, can you give me any instance of peace building anywhere in our neighboring region?
Sir, possibility of it, or it has happened in the past?
Where it has been done.
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm unable to understand the question.
You don't understand my question.
Yes, sir.
I'm just asking you, can you give me example of any area in our neighborhood or anywhere in the world where this has been done, peace building has been done?
Sir, Afghanistan.
Hmm?
Afghanistan.
Good.
To some
Yes,
extent.
Afghanistan. And you said Iraq before, it was done there also. But has peace building been successful in Afghanistan? And if not, why not? And if yes, why? And that is my last question.
Sir, initially it was successful. However, it wasn't sustainable. Since we can see Taliban coming back to power, and still many communities are not in complete confidence. Sir, based on my understanding, one of the reason it has happened is that not all communities are on board with the efforts that were being taken. Many were still holding grudges against the ruling dispensation and the efforts at peace building.
They were holding grudges against who?
Sir, there were external powers involved in the whole process, and not there was a trust deficit amongst locals.
You use the word grudges against who? Please answer that question.
Sir, against external powers who were involved in the peace building process, as well as the ruling dispensation within Afghanistan.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrinalini.
Poonamji.
Mrinalini, political science, economics, conflict resolution, etc., etc. This is all part of one package, or you did the other peace building and conflict resolution?
Ma'am, actually, I finished my BA program course from LSR, and when I was filling the form, I was asked what all subjects I read. So here, conflict resolution and peace
That's
building.
part of your BA program?
That was a paper that I finished in 1 year. It was a diploma course.
That's a separate, parallel thing which you did.
No, ma'am, it was a part of
It is
BA
part
program.
of this.
It was an elective.
Because earlier you used to have a parallel course spread over 2 years, peace building and... All right. What kind of conflicts come to your mind? Conflict can be between whom and whom?
Ma'am, it can be intrapersonal within oneself. It can be interpersonal between two people. It can also be an intra-group within a group, intergroup within two groups.
Okay, if I say conflict between man and nature?
Yes, ma'am, there's a possibility. In fact, we keep...
So let's talk first of man and nature. What kind of conflict is that, and where, if you can give me 3 examples?
Ma'am, one, we keep seeing the development projects which are coming in place. Often they are resultant of and they lead to encroachment of land. So here we see there's
Encroachment of land.
Ma'am, by encroachment I mean that we acquired land which earlier was forested because of we want to implement development projects there. So as a result, there's a clash between the growth and environmental sustainability here. That's one. Second,
Then what happens?
ma'am, we go ahead, we do an environmental impact assessment, and if it shows that it's all right to go ahead, we go ahead, but we compensate for that.
But environmental clearances are coming in abundance, isn't it? So that conflict is going to remain, or we'll be able to overcome that conflict?
Ma'am, given what is the situation right now, we are taking steps to resolve the conflict.
Now, if I say at night, let's take the example of Uttarakhand.
Yes, ma'am.
The leopard walks into the city. What is that? What will you do? It has also killed a couple of people there, some dogs. What is that?
Ma'am, I believe it's a case of not having enough core area for the leopard. Rather,
that's exactly what I'm talking. Conflict between man and nature. So we're encroaching in their territory, and when they come back to their corridors or to their region, we kill them. Anyway, what is the difference between conflict transformation and conflict resolution? Actually, before that you answer, can conflict be resolved? You gave 2 examples though.
Ma'am, conflict can be resolved when we consider the need of all stakeholders. We involve everyone in decision making, and that resolution is sustainable and pragmatic on ground.
So what is transformation?
Ma'am, transformation is when our perspective changes towards the conflict. We don't see it negatively, rather something positive comes out of it. We transform the entire conflict into something positive and constructive long term.
Okay. What is the difference between peace building and security?
Ma'am, peace building are the efforts that happen after peace is there for a long time. Then the efforts that happen for rebuilding the whole society. However, ma'am, security is something that happens when this peace building is sustained over a long time and people feel secure.
Secure enough. All right. Thank you, Mrinalika.
Thank you.
Mrinalika,
Yes.
what does your name signify?
So my name comes from the word Mrinal. It implies a petal or stem of a lotus. So it signifies the value of detachment and resilience from whatever is happening around.
You were talking about, doing something to improve the police regarding FIR, etc., etc.
Yes.
Are you aware that 3 acts have been passed by the Parliament now?
Yes.
Are you aware of the ingredients of that act?
Sir, broadly.
Broadly.
Yes.
On the FIR issue, you have any idea?
Sir, zero FIR, there's a provision of zero FIR in Bharatiya Nagrik Sanhita.
See, there is a provision for zero FIR.
Yes.
There is a provision for EFIR. Okay. So what you say now that police will not register the cases once the act comes into force
Yes.
after a notification, all these problems will not be there. They will be duty bound to register. Okay. If it is EFIR, it is related to whom? Especially women.
Yes.
You have been a school consultant in Rajasthan.
Yes.
Are you aware of something called TET exams?
Yes, sir. Teacher eligible.
What exactly is it? Why it was in the news?
Sir, there's an issue of paper leak.
Paper leak.
Yes, sir.
Then
So then the exams were conducted again after.
again exams were conducted,
Yes, sir.
results announced,
Yes, sir.
and appointments
Still not.
orders issued and reversed.
Yes, sir.
Why this game was going on for a pretty long time? What was the reason?
So there was an issue of paper leak. When initially the exam happened after 4 years, the issue of paper leak came to light and the exam was cancelled on the very
Was
same day.
it paper leak, or it was because some minister's son or daughter did not get into the list?
So based on what I know, it was paper leak. That's
Go
what
through
I'm
it.
aware of.
Because that is what happened. Once the announcement takes place, appointment letters are given and withdrawn. How can that happen?
Second place.
Isn't it? Anyway,
Thank
you have
you, sir.
given certain things in your DFA and other things. You think about reflective journalism. What exactly is this coordination?
Sir, by reflective journaling, I imply that whenever some event happens in my life, which makes me think and things through which I learn something, I write it down for myself to go back to it and remember in future.
So you're basically hinting at diary writing.
Sir, I do that, but not on a daily basis. Whenever intuitively I feel like doing it. So there's a thought, there's a reflection that I want to put down on paper.
Okay. Anybody whom you can have your ideal who has been involved in this diary writing work?
Sir, Mahatma Gandhi.
All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, Mrinalika, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Doing very well. Nice to see your positive smile and your positive attitude.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Political science. Who is the father of political science?
Sir, Aristotle.
2 theories of his that you agree with and 2 that you feel are absolutely irrelevant today.
Sir, Aristotle's theory of golden mean
Hmm.
is the golden rule.
Okay.
I completely agree with this.
Okay. What else?
And second, sir, what he spoke about his theory of state that he gave.
Hmm.
The state is organic and it is in nature of
Okay.
things. Sir, 2 which I do not agree with. Sir, one wherein he talked about division of labor
Hmm.
and he assigned certain work to certain people and justified slavery.
Hmm.
That is something which is not valid
Okay.
and applicable today.
Slavery, you disagree with. What else?
Sir, second, in terms of political participation, he denied political
Very good.
participation.
Thank you. Okay. Moving forward. have you heard of Gram Swaraj?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, it implies decentralization of the government at the bottom, lowest level.
What level is that?
Sir, at the level of villages.
Ah, okay. And who is it most associated with?
Sir, I'm unable to recall.
Unable.
Sir,
Okay.
can I?
I'll help you.
A name is coming to my mind.
Okay, tell me what is the name?
Sir, Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay. I don't know why you had to be so, you know, why not sure about it?
Sir, because I am able to remember Ram Rajya.
Acha.
So
Acha, that's
I
why.
got it. confused.
Okay, no problem. Okay, tell me about Panchayati Raj system. When did it come into being? And which was the first state?
Sir, 1959, Nagaur
Mm.
was the first district to start Panchayati Raj.
Very good. Second state?
Sir, I'm unable to.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Compare the political administration styles of Indira Gandhi and Narendra Modi and tell me who's better.
Sir, there are a lot of similarities between both. Both of them have a centralized type of management, wherein the power is centralized in PMO. Second, sir, they are also very rooted in people at the same time. With Indira Gandhi's Garibi Hatao to Narendra, Honorable Prime Minister's Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra, which is ongoing right now, we see that happening. And third, sir, both are very efficient foreign administrators as well. Both have been known for.
Okay, very good. Difficult to pick one. I'm going to let it be. Okay, last question. Can you name 3 heads of state or heads of government who are women present?
Sir, Italy's head of state, Miss Meloni. I'm not able to remember the
Head of
first
state
name.
or head of government? What is she?
Sir,
There's a difference. Political science.
head of government, sir.
Okay, next.
There's a Bangladesh Prime Minister,
Okay, very good.
Sheikh Hasina, and
Okay, no problem. Thank you. What about India?
say we have a male Prime Minister, President. Okay, sir, head of state. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's the name? Sorry.
Mrinalika, we will call you for feedback session after 5 minutes. You can wait in the waiting room. Mrinalika, tell us about your interview. What is your assessment?
So it wasn't very well. I wasn't prepared in certain areas.
Which areas?
So conflict resolution and peace building. That is something I read about it, but I think I need to go even more in depth.
Correct. What else?
Sir, I think I also got a little nervous after interaction with sir.
Yeah. Many candidates get nervous, so don't worry about that. Just keep focusing on the answers.
And sir, when you asked me about Jaipur, what are certain issues when you are DSP, I realized later on that I could have been better answering that question. It could have been handled better.
Enforcement of law.
Yes, sir.
is
I
the
started
most
with Johnson Vai.
important function
Yes, sir.
of police.
Yes, sir.
Crime detection also you didn't mention.
Yes, sir.
Jensen Y and all these things are important, but they come second, third, fourth, fifth, not actually in the
So I
top.
immediately realized when I mentioned, but then I continued the answer.
Yeah. So where you will grade yourself? Good, very good, outstanding.
So good.
Good. Okay, when is the interview?
So 11th March. 11th March.
11th March. Morning, evening.
Morning.
Okay. And how many mocks you have given?
So this is second.
Second. What was the advice in the first?
So to brush up my content. Brush up my content.
To
Brush up my content.
content.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
Uh, so no, nothing.
No. So let me give you our advice on behalf of all the members of the panel.
Yes, sir.
Number one, read newspapers thoroughly, daily in the morning. Why in the morning?
So that I'm aware of the development immediately the last day.
Immediately,
What happened the last day, I should be aware of it.
your interview is in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you go without reading newspaper, what will happen?
Yes, sir.
Suppose someone asks actually what are the headlines today, you will not be able to answer. Then your level of confidence will go down. So read newspapers in the morning. Civil services aspirants should not miss a single day's newspaper. Minimum 2 hours or so you should spend. When you read the newspapers, link it with your DEF entries. Your DEF is Bible. You have not revised your Bible. There are so many entries in your DEF. What are the entries in the DEF? When you saw it last, all the entries in the DEF, DEF 1, DEF 2,
Sir, every day I see it.
every day.
Yes, sir.
But still, you are not so prepared actually to give the answers. Because if you are referring on daily basis, then you must have formed some questions also on the basis of DEF. Then answers. Write down answers of actually your probable questions on a sheet of paper. One paper, one answer. Take help of some of your friends who can make actually questions on DEF. DEF is very important. You have to be very strong on DEF. And why we are suggesting this? Because you have time. So that is number one. DEF, read actually the relevant news, the information, the analysis in the newspaper relating to your DEF. That is number one. Number two, all current affairs. You have to be very strong. Your home state, your city. We have not asked many questions because of time limitation, but prepare Rajasthan very well. What are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, the opportunities, threats, everything. Your academics, your optional, your hobbies, everything. Then the schemes, important schemes, central schemes, you should be very strong. Maybe related to poverty alleviation, upliftment of the woman, children, senior citizens, general public, SCs, STs. There are hundreds of schemes. You should select at least dozens of schemes. How you will select it? What will be the criteria? Which schemes you should prepare very well?
So flagship schemes. which
Flagship
are often
schemes.
talked about.
Outlay, where the outlay is more, where coverage is wide, where impact is more. Select those schemes. Okay? Read the important provisions of the Indian Constitution. Constitution will help you when you are in a position where you are not sure what to actually say. There will be some difficult questions. At that time, Indian Constitution will help you. Take side of the Indian Constitution and law. Okay? Your personality is good. Sometimes actually when you are answering, you are, I think, not sitting in a very comfortable posture. You should sit like this. You actually lean towards, like this, now when you start answering.
Put your back to the chair.
Ah. Support your back and be just comfortable, relax, but still formal.
Yes.
Okay. Posture we have said. IFS. Not opting for IFS, there is nothing wrong in that, but the answer has to be convincing. You have to prepare on that. The answer actually you gave was not like a valid answer. Now give us the valid answer.
So the actual answer is that I don't want to leave my country for a very long time. Like I want to contribute to services, but I want to stay in the country.
No, this should not be the answer. Your answer should start the Indian Foreign Service is a very prestigious service. It should start with a positive note about the service which you are not opting. Then give actually your priorities. It is choice. The choice has been given by the UPSC. You can opt any service. So then actually at that time you can give your interest in the rural development and the whatever. But don't bring this that I want to remain here in the country. I don't want to go outside of the country. That thing should not be part. You will be civil servant. You will rise up to Chief Secretary, Secretary Government of India. So for at that level, this looks actually very, very childish if we say that we don't want to go to foreign countries. So prepare this answer in a convincing manner. Then start with a positive note about the Indian Foreign Service. Okay. Conflict resolution. You yourself has mentioned in that, and now you know what to prepare, how to prepare it. But definitely a question will, because it is a rare sort of thing. People by and large, they don't know about this subject, majority of the people. And even if they know, they don't mention in the depth. But since you have mentioned, it is your strength as well as weakness. It will be your strength if you prepare very well. So you have to read about this, and the similar type of questions will be asked about this. So prepare on the conflict resolution. It is simple, but you have to be very articulate, convincing. So read about it. Okay. We have covered, I think, all issues. You have any doubt, any question from any of the member? Yeah, ask.
Sir,
Go ahead.
sir, आपने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था about conflict resolution. What are the tools of conflict resolution? So what should have been the answer here?
Security Council.
Okay, sir. Now I get the context. Like, what are the tools we have in hand to resolve conflict?
Security Council. Internationally, the only organization which can authorize means for conflict resolution is Security Council. Includes mediation, arbitration, mediation basically, or the peacekeeping operations, or the chapter under chapter 7 peace enforcement.
Okay, sir. I
Simple.
started thinking in technical terms. I did not think of.
That's the reason you need to
I
keep
started
it
thinking
simple.
of the word from my theory. There must
Just
be a
simple.
word.
Keep it simple.
And sir, peace building, my answer was fine. No?
Yes. Peace building was good. If that was good, you take prompted. You should really know these things by heart. Yeah.
You are looking at ma'am?
No.
No? Yeah.
But
See-
when you talk of conflict,
Yes,
conflict that you talked of only intrastate and interstate. But depending when conflicts can be many, it could be religious, it could be ethnic, it could be water, it could be food security, lots of things. So put your mind into the areas where conflict can be. What has been done over time, and if there is still conflict, take a case study. And then by example you can explain.
So, how would you have Security Council, United Nations, or bilateral?
Dialogue.
Bilateral.
I wasn't thinking in these terms. I started thinking there must be some theoretical tools that I'm aware.
Bilateral is very important because we do not want to take our disputes to the UNSC. So it is our choice.
Mrinalika, when a question is asked
Yes.
by the panel member, take few seconds, think about the answer, structure it, then come out with the answer, giving important points first.
Yes.
Don't be in a hurry. And when you take few seconds, you will be able to understand actually what the panel member wants to ask. That should be your principle. If you are not knowing, then you should say, sorry sir, sorry ma'am, I am not able to recollect at this moment. You get next question. क्वेश्चन का जवाब नहीं दोगे, मार्क्स नहीं कटेंगे. किसी का असेसमेंट क्वेश्चन के जवाब नहीं देने से नहीं होता. इज द क्वालिटी ऑफ आंसर्स, the logical answers, the arguments which you give on the basis of your knowledge, that will work.
One advice.
Yes, sir.
See, the laws relating to policing is going through a metamorphosis. The old laws have all been repealed. It's only a matter of time when these new acts will come into force. So you must know about it. One of the simplest way to do is there is a PIB release from the Ministry of Home Affairs. It's a few pages, this thing. It will be available in website or any other place. Just read it. It will give you the entire gamut of the changes which have taken place from the old one. All these things, FIR, etc., 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 what are the changes related to women and everybody, you will get it at only one place. Read it carefully, you will get all your answers. How it is a departure from the old to the new. Okay? IPS is your second choice. So you should be prepared for this sort of work. Okay?
But Mrinalika, you can keep in your mind that till your interview, the old laws will remain relevant so far interview is concerned. Interview board will not mind actually if you give the detail, and they will not go in such depth. But you should know actually what are the names, basic things. What are the major changes in IPC, CRPC, Indian Evidence Act? Major, two points each. That will be sufficient. But you should keep in mind that yes, they have been changed and now this is the new name. Okay?
Sir, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, there was a question about PM Modi and Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. How could that be answered?
You handled it very well.
You handle it very well.
You handled it very well.
I have a comment on that.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
mentioned it. You said Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra is currently going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Which yatra are you referring to?
Ma'am, which is happening at the
PM is doing it.
across India, what BJP is doing through Prabhari officers.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It was supposed to end.
Between two personalities, tall personalities. So I was wondering, how is this?
Ma'am, the goal that we are projecting is upliftment of poor and ensuring
Yeah, yeah,
saturation
yeah.
of things.
There's a Nyaya Yatra.
So what will happen in this Nyaya Yatra? What will happen in this Nyaya Yatra?
Sir, Nyaya Yatra or Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra?
Yeah, this
The first
Yatra.
one.
Yeah.
So that is to ensure the saturation of government schemes. That Ujjwala scheme, many people have not enrolled. So they are going out there at the local level and ensuring that more and more people-
Awareness. Creating
One
awareness.
word, awareness. They're
Awareness
creating
about the
awareness
schemes.
about all the flagship
Yeah,
schemes.
the
Yes,
schemes.
sir.
All the best there.
You will do very well.
Thank
Okay?
We have plenty of time. Just in 20 hours. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.